Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review, and today we're looking at the DC Multiverse Batman action figure, and this is part of the new Mcfarlane action figure wave, which I feel like it got announced so suddenly, and then they were out. They were literally, people were finding them at the same time we were basically finding out about them, and that's kind of exciting, and kind of like, well, I want that, but it's not near me. But anyways, I did manage to get my hands on Batman here, and they're out there. Amazon, it's sold out as of yesterday, but I'm sure they're going to be back in stock pretty soon. Found this one at my local Walmart. I know they hit Targets first, so check out your stores. They're out there. You'll definitely find them. Don't pay the crazy resale prices. They're there. You can find them, so just a little bit of advice there. I mean, they're brand new. I'm sure a lot of people are excited about them, and yeah, let's just move on from there. So a few things I want to mention here is they did go with the 7-inch scale instead of the 6-inch scale, which is fine. It's cool. I get it. I do like 6-inch figures because I do like mixing and matching franchises, basically Marvel Legends and stuff. But for the most part, I'm okay with the way it looks here. And I was a little bit hesitant to pick up this figure because I did get One Punch Man last year. Wasn't the biggest fan. I did get, I think, a couple of those Fortnite figures. I don't remember if I did a review on them. I don't remember if I got around to it, but weren't too bad. Joints were a little so-and-so, but for the most part, sculpt-wise and everything, they're really good. And I know they've been pumping them out like crazy, so hopefully we'll get a lot of DC figures here out like crazy. They actually do have a good amount already out, so that's a good thing. I like that. Anyway, starting here, this is the animated version of Batman, one of my absolute favorite versions of Batman. Again, the animated series. Grew up on that, have the entire series on DVD, and I was excited to get this because I wasn't so happy with the DC ones. I don't actually know what company makes those. I know it's DC, but I don't know if it's like their own company or if they license it to another toy company. It definitely wasn't Mattel, but yeah, those ones, I bought one and the leg broke and I wasn't excited about it. And although they have made a lot of characters and they were definitely something I was interested in, never really picked them up, though I might get that Bat Cycle at some point because I have my own personal reasons on that one. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get it. Now, a few things to note here is that the cape is definitely around his shoulders, more like it was in the New Adventures, and he's definitely wearing the wrong belt. That's, again, the New Adventures. This version should actually have the little capsule things going around it. And there's no blue kind of highlighting on his arms, legs, or cowl, or mask, or anything, which is fine. I guess I can deal with it. It's funny though because he does come with a card and you can see that he does have the wrong belt on there, which is cool. It's just like a nice piece of cardboard. It is glossy on both ends. It's nothing super fancy. There is a little bit of a thing there if you guys want to read it. Maybe I'll put a picture of that right there. But like I said, animated series, one of my favorite ones. This one, honestly, all he's missing is the logo to be, you know, the new series with the longer bat, and he could basically be that bat instead of this one. So quick correction here, the actual suit he's wearing is more accurate to the Justice League animated series thing. The only thing he's missing is the symbol. It's completely wrong. The belt is actually the Justice League belt because if it was the New Adventures belt, he would be having a tan one and the cape on the inside would be gray. In Justice League, the cape on the inside is blue like it is here, and so is the belt. It's yellow. So again, just missing the symbol. Don't know what they did there or why, but at least I figured that out, so there you go. Maybe I don't know what's going on there. I still feel like something's up where this just isn't right, aside from the inside of his cape being blue instead of, I believe, gray when he has the other suit. But it's fine. It's fine. I can live with it. I can deal with it because it's a Batman and I like Batman. So this figure does come with a few accessories. It does come with a pair of fists right out the packaging, which I absolutely love. I think the other Batman, the comic book version of it from the Mcfarlane line, doesn't come with a complete pair of fists, but I'm not actually sure. I've only seen a few videos and pictures of it. I haven't actually picked that one up. But this one does come with a pair of fists, which is good, because I feel like every superhero action figure should come with a pair of fists, especially if they're a crime fighter who punches people. Pair of fists, really good. Glad he came with it. And he also came with a pair of trigger fingers, which is great and all, though I do wish he came with a hand for the grappling hook, which he does come with the grappling hook. I like that. It looks really good. I like it. It's nice. And he does come with a batarang, and the batarang is a little bit oversized. And I will show those like really quick here so you can see. Yeah, it's me focusing on it. It's definitely a lot thicker than it should be. I'm assuming it's for safety. You don't want kids, hurting themselves or anything. It's not really sharp, but it is really big, and it does, again, just kind of slide into the hand right there pretty easily. It's just falling out, but you can get it in there. The fingers are pretty rubbery, so getting things like the grappling hook on there is fine. Though, again, I wish it came with the grappling hook hand, meaning he had the 2 fingers, one on each side, because I believe the other animated series line does come with that, but I can deal with it. It's fine. And, yeah, just move on from that. So articulation-wise, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I do like it better than what Mattel was doing, especially with the legs. They had that weird flat system that just looked really unnatural, and McFarlane definitely did a better job than what Mattel was doing, so I'm gonna applaud them on that. But again, it could be better. A lot of it has to do with kind of just the sculpt of the figure and the cape. I wish the cape was fabric so it could, help his arms move a little bit more. But we'll get into that basically right now. So anyways, can you look up? Just about that much. Not too much at all, actually. Not really look down. Can look left and right, but it has kind of that sideways thing going on just because of the way the head is kind of designed and everything, which sucks. It would have been nice if they could have done something more, but again, the way the head is and everything, I get it, though. If they had done like a separate part here with the neck, maybe made this, actual fabric or something, I think they could have gone away with a little bit more articulation. That's just me. The ab crunch, I mean, it's cut there. It leans back plenty, but it doesn't really want to move forward, and it kind of moves side to side a little bit, but not too much. You get a little bit movement here in the waist, but again, not too much. You can turn left and right at least. Down here, you can turn left and right as well, but again, it's not the greatest. That does tend to happen where the leg pops off, but it does just pop back on right there. Not really too many kind of loose joints. The leg is a little bit loose, but not to the point where he's falling over. The arm was frozen when I got it out of the packaging, but was able to move it. So let's actually just move the cape up here so you guys can see he does have a butterfly joint, which, again, this one was definitely a little bit harder to move, but it does move forward and back a pretty good amount. So it is somewhat useful. It does have that upper arm rotation there. You can hear it. You can hear how rough everything is, how kind of tight everything is, which again, not a bad thing. The arm can go out that much, can go down not that much, and he does have a single jointed elbow, but it goes up just a little bit over 90, so it's okay, though it does have these kind of rough things going on there, so not the prettiest, but it definitely helps keep his hand from moving around. The joints at the wrist I do like because, again, the One Punch Man, really, it was just like a mess. It did not want to kind of hold anything right there. And I think the Fortnite figure did the same thing. So his wrist can move forward and back right there. And you can just pop it off like that to switch out the pieces. Though earlier when I did that, it came off from the other end. You can just pop it off, put the joint back in, and then pop off the hand if that happens to you. The belt doesn't really move. It's kind of moves up and down a little bit, but I think it's attached a little bit. There's like a little bit of thing going there. It's weird. It's not the greatest. Like, again, I really wish that ab joint worked a lot better. It's weird. It's just a weird system. Like, it can go back, but it can't go forward, but it can go forward, but it's mostly just because it's going forward because it went back. Yeah, not great. Leg can kick out that much. Really good. Can't really go forward too much. Can go back actually a pretty good amount. Can it go forward a little bit more? Yeah, I guess. You know what? Legs, good. They don't really do that, back and forward thing there. I wish he did have a little bit of a thigh cut, but it's fine. It does have double jointed knees that do really well. Right there. No boot cut or anything, so really you're limited to kind of having to finagle it just a little bit, but again, at least when the legs go out, it's not like a flat piece of something there that looks weird, so I can kind of forgive that. They do have these joints here where toe joints, fine, I'm okay with it. A lot of people love that. I'm just whatever. But he can't go up, can't go back, and he can angle pivot, but you have to like hold the joint down and kind of turn, if I can even do this behind camera, turn it so that the leg is facing the other way, and it is possible. I did do this earlier. It's kind of getting there. There we go. So Did I get it? Well, like somewhat got it, but yeah, you can mess with the joint to give him that ankle pivot, but it's a lot more work than it needs to be. I wish he had a regular one. So again, articulation better than Mattel, more or less. I know Mattel was actually doing a decent enough job with the newer wave, but they were going back and forth between their old sculpts and their new sculpts, and it wasn't working out too well sometimes. This right here, I think, came out decent enough. It's a lot more usable. I do like it, but again, it could be better, but it is their kind of first try at these figures, so hopefully they'll just be getting better as the years go by and everything. So can't complain too much right now. Anyways, let's move on to some size comparisons and wrap this video up. So first off, here he is compared to the Ascending Knight Mezco figure. You can see the size difference. Very noticeable. Again, 6-inch scale, 7-inch scale, so big difference there. And funny enough, looks-wise, I mean, I can just be being a little bit biased here because I really like the animated series, but I like the Mcfarlane one a lot better than the Mezco one. The Mezco one is cool. It's awesome. I do like it. You just can't beat that animated series look, even if it is kind of a mix between the New Adventures and the original. Still, I really do like it. And here he is next to Marvel Legends Silk and the SH Figuarts Gogeta action figure. You can see, again, a good size bigger than your typical import figure. Those are more true 6-inch scale, so a little bit shorter. And then the Marvel Legends, it actually doesn't look too off next to her, and she is a female figure, so she is a little bit shorter than a regular Marvel Legends like Spider-Man or something. Again, he would definitely be taller and he would definitely stick out, and if we're talking the comic book versions, yeah, the scale is not gonna work, but something like this, it's not too bad. But again, typically for the most part, not going to fit in with either line here. And lastly, here he is next to the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo action figure. You can see he is a good size taller than him, though I feel like you can probably get away with this just because it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and although he should be bigger, the turtle should be bigger. Not that he should be bigger than Batman, but he should definitely be bigger than that size. I feel like you can get away with it in pictures and stuff if you're trying to go for that thing and want to mix and match, kind of like the movie and comic book series and everything. I think you'll be alright. Again, not the right size. He's a lot shorter than he would be compared to Batman, but if you want to fudge it, you can fudge it. I think they look pretty cool together, but that's just me. So for the most part, not a bad figure, but there are some kind of issues that I do want to bring up here at the end. Kind of just, the more I mess with him, the more I'm kind of like, and a few things I forgot to talk about. So main thing that you could probably tell from this angle is you can't really see his eyes that well. They're recessed inside the mask. They're sculpted downwards inside a little bit, which isn't bad. It looks good from certain angles, but from other angles like here, it just looks like it doesn't have any eyes, and it's a little bit weird. It works, but it doesn't work. I don't know what they could have done differently, to be honest. I don't remember how the other DC line did it, but I think theirs actually might have been better in that sense. I do like them. The articulation here is better than the other ones. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. I would recommend this, but with kind of like, know what you're getting. You're not getting something amazing. You're not getting Marvel Legends quality for sure, which sucks. You're not getting Power Ranger Lightning Collection quality, stuff that probably a lot of people would really love. You're just getting decent enough to have fun with, but still be a little frustrated with posing. Again, the way Batman's head is done here, it stops him from looking side to side. So having the grappling hook like this, not the greatest pose, was a little bit difficult to get there. Again, the cape being rubber kind of gets in the way with the arms, and it is holding him up, but again, gets in the way for like a pose where he's kneeling down or something. Getting the ankle to pivot sideways was definitely a lot more annoying than I was hoping it would be. I'm not a fan of those joints where you have to kind of turn it to kind of get that angle you want, but at least it is there, so I'll give them that. Sculpt wise, body and everything looks decent enough, but again, I feel like they did mess up a part of it, and that they should have just changed out the bat symbol and made it the New Adventures of Batman, and, you know, gotten rid of the blue, made it gray. It really is kind of like that figure. It doesn't scream animated series, it screams a new animated series, but at the same time he has that symbol in the blue cape, so it's weird. It's just really weird what they went there. Maybe they got confused, maybe they didn't know what they were doing, but definitely a disappointment on that front, but not a bad figure at all. I guess you could just say it's the transition period between both series, which I don't even think was long at all. I think it just happened. But yeah, Bat Symbol is sculpted on, looks good. Paint wise, pretty much perfect throughout. There's really not much going on there. Black, yellow, and gray, though. On the cowl, the mask, and everything, there's a little skin tone on the edges, which looks a little bit off, but I'm gonna try and fix that. Shouldn't have to be something I need to fix, but it is there, so be aware of that. And I do want to say a few of the bat symbols of the figures in the store were painted a little bit sloppily, not too bad, but again, always check your figure to see for any imperfections just through that little window. You know, it's kind of like a lottery. You don't know what you're gonna get, but from what you can see, at least try and pick out the very best. And yeah, aside from that, not really much else to say. Would I recommend it? If you're an animated series fan, go for it. If you want a decent Batman, go for it, but don't expect anything amazing. It's so and so. It's passable. I like it. Not something I'm gonna pose around too much. Probably gonna pose in one position, put it up on the shelf, and not really mess with too much. I wish it was better. I wish it could do a lot more. We are getting a new line of Batman animated series figures. I'm not sure if it's a new line or what's going on, but a new body figure with like new articulation. It doesn't look the prettiest, I will say that, but that is coming soon, and I'll probably end up picking that up and seeing how that is. But until then, this one, again, not bad. It's a mixed bag. No idea what they were doing with the inspiration here on the symbol and everything, like I said, but again, not a bad figure, and that's pretty much my review for the Batman Multiverse action figure by Mcfarlane. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.